Hello children, welcome back to biology class. So today we are going to discuss the topic patterns of biodiversity. It is the last topic in the lesson biodiversity and conservation, and it is the last topic from the part ecology. Okay, so listen it carefully. So pattern of biodiversity, the first part is latitudinal gradients. The diversity of plants and animals is not uniform throughout the world and shows uneven distribution. This distribution pattern is along the latitudinal gradient in diversity. The species diversity decreases as we move from the equator towards the pole. Okay, and tropics harbor more species than temperate or polar areas. So from this part you can expect questions based on a particular habitat. Okay, so you may be provided with different habitats, and according to this concept you have to answer it. Okay, so what is the concept? Species diversity decreases as we move from equator towards the poles. Okay, then tropics harbor more species than temperate or polar areas. The Amazonian rainforest has the greatest biodiversity on earth. It has more than 40,000 species of plants and 125,000 species of insects, 300 species of fish, 427 amphibian species, and 378 of reptiles, and 1,300 species of birds and 427 species of mammals. Okay, so these values no need to study by heart, but if the question is asked by giving diagram or something, you have to interpret the data. Okay, various hypotheses have been proposed regarding this. Okay, so now we can discuss three important hypotheses. The first one, speciation is a function of time, unlike temperate regions subjected to frequent glaciation in past, but tropical latitudes have remained relatively undisturbed for millions of years and thus had long evolutionary time for species diversification. Children, these are hypotheses, not theories or rules. Okay, so hypothesis is not having a particular proof or something, but you have to write this. This is the first hypothesis. The next one, tropical environments unlike temperate ones are less seasonal and more constant and predictable, which promote niche specialization and lead to a greater species diversity. Okay, second hypothesis and the last one, there is more solar energy available in the tropics, isn't it? According to the shape of earth, we know that more solar energy available in the tropics, which contribute to higher productivity. This in turn contribute indirectly to greater diversities. Okay, so I hope you the point is clear to you. So for that latitudinal gradient, we explained three hypotheses. It's a sure question. Okay, children, it's a must question, so you should study these three hypotheses. Then second one, species area relationship. If there is any relationship between the number of species and the kilometers or the diameter or area, okay, of a particular region. Alexander von Humboldt has observed that within a region, species richness gets increased when explored area is increased. A direct relationship is there, but only up to a limit. The relationship between species richness and area for a number of taxa like angiospermic plants, freshwater fishes and birds is found to be a rectangular hyperbola. So I will show you that diagram. So here in this diagram, x-axis is represented, area is represented on x-axis and species richness on y, and we will get a rectangular hyperbola. We'll get in blue color, you can see a rectangular hyperbola, and which explains that s is equal to z a square, whereas log s is equal to log c plus at log a. And now let's interpret the data. On logarithmic scale, the relationship is a straight line described by the equation log s is equal to log c plus z log a, where S is species, A area, Z slope of the line, C and its y-intercept. Okay, so ecologists have discovered that the value of Z lies in range of 0.1 to 0.2 regardless of taxonomic group of the region. In very large area like continents, Z value ranges between 0.6 and 1.2. So you study it thoroughly, and the questions will be like to interpret the data, or by giving a particular habitat to interpret it. Okay, so on the basis of these values and concept, you can easily interpret the diagrams. Okay, children. Then the importance of species diversity to the ecosystem. We know that the communities with more species are generally more stable than those with less species, isn't it? So a stable community should not be show too much variation in productivity from year to year. So rich biodiversity is essential for ecosystem health and imperative for the very survival of human race on this planet. So now we can explain the hypothesis, that is Rivett-Popper hypothesis. It is given by Paul Ehrlich. According to this hypothesis, in an airplane, so we can consider it as ecosystem, and all parts are joined together using thousands of rivets. So now rivets in the meaning species. Rivets mean species. Okay. So if every passenger traveling in it starts popping a rivet to take home, isn't it, causing a species to become extinct and may not affect flight safety. So proper functioning of the ecosystem. Okay, so you just compare both. Okay, and initially, but as more and more rivets are removed, what happens? The plane becomes dangerously weak over a period of time, isn't it? So furthermore, which rivet is removed may also be critical. So loss of rivets on the wings, that is key species that drive major ecosystems. So now let's consider that key species similar as that of rivets is obviously a more serious threat to flight safety than loss of a few rivets on the seats or windows inside the plane. Okay. So that is Rivett-Popper hypothesis given by Paul Ehrlich. So you can compare it with ecosystem and the species richness. Okay, so that's about the lesson. Biodiversity and conservation was a very simple lesson, isn't it, children? So from the both two lessons from ecology, the first one was organism and population, second one biodiversity and conservation. This year we are having only these two lessons from the part ecology, children. So please read the textbook thoroughly. I will add a lot of soft copies of notes from other textbooks. So read thoroughly and answer all the application level questions. You can expect application level questions from these two lessons, and please score full marks from this area. Okay, children. So study well. Thank you.